thunder of jets in an open sky, a streak of gray, and a cheerful...
A loop, a whirl, and a vertical climb, and once again, you'll know it's time for the adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and friends.
Starring that supersonic speedster, Rocket J. Squirrel, with his pal Bullwinkle the Moose, and a host of others.
Hurry, Bullwinkle! The show's about to start!
I'm coming as fast as I can.
Wave to the people!
Yay!
Now what are you doing?
Signing autographs. Let's see. John Smith.
But your name is Bullwinkle.
I know, but that's hard to spell.
We're gonna have a lot of fun. Come on and join us.
Sure, there's always room for one more.
Well, everybody's supposed to have fun at a circus. But as usual, things are different in Frostbite Falls. Nobody's having fun here. You see, a mean lion tamer named Claude Badley, who bears a remarkable resemblance to Boris Badenov...
Funny how that works out.
...has let loose a ferocious lion named Satan into the crowd. They're not having fun. Of course, the circus owners, Hugo and Igo Bumbling, are panic-stricken.
We are not having fun.
In trying to capture Satan, Bullwinkle fell into his own net.
I'm not having fun.
And Rocky the Flying Squirrel was swatted out of the air and now lies helpless under the lion's huge paw.
I'm sure not having fun.
And as for Boris and Natasha...
We're having fun.
Boris, that was one of the nastiest, dirtiest tricks you've ever pulled.
Bullwinkle, do something.
Oh, hey! Hey, you lion! Sir!
It's not working.
I'll have to try something different.
And Bullwinkle did try. He flapped a handkerchief at the lion.
Toro!
He did a tap dance wearing a funny hat.
Do-do-do-do-do.
He juggled 4 balls at a... 3, 2... He threw 1 ball up and down. Nothing worked.
The only thing I got left is my pocket comb.
You taking notes, Natasha?
Notes. Notes. Music! That's it, Bullwinkle! Music! You gotta play something!
Play on what?
Your comb!
Oh.
And Bullwinkle slipped a piece of tissue paper over his comb and began to hum through it.
Bullwinkle, I think it's working!
Yes, the lion removed his paw from our furry hero and began to stalk slowly toward Bullwinkle.
Boris, the lion isn't going to eat the squirrel.
Who cares? He eats the moose instead. That's bad.
Yes, the lion drew closer and closer to the music-making moose. Then Bullwinkle began to play a lullaby. The lion's eyes grew heavy, and before the astonished crowd, Satan the fierce lion lay down, closed his eyes, and went fast asleep.
Hugo, did you see what I seen?
Of course not. It's an optical delusion.
Wow! Bullwinkle, that was sensational!
Down, boy. Down, I say. Get down there, you.
You're a little late, aren't you, Mr. Badley?
Well, better late than never, boys. That was a terrible thing to do, Mr. Badley.
Yeah, shame on you.
One more stunt like that,
And we're going to write you a nasty letter.
A nasty letter? He almost got us ate up by a nasty lion.
You're not even gonna fire him?
we can't.
Can't.
He's the only...
Lion tamer we got.
And the circus.
Just isn't a circus.
Without a lion tamer.
So he's got us.
Over a bell.
Hey, wait a minute. You do have another lion tamer.
We do? Where?
Right here.
There must be some mistake. The only feller here is me. Me?
You can do it, Bullwinkle. You'll tame him with your trusty honeycomb.
A sensational...
Idea. You're hired.
But what about...
You're fired.
You can't do this to me. I have my rights. You'll pay for this. Mark mine words.
Darling, they stopped being scared of you.
Never mind, Natasha. In the immortal words of Count Dracula, I have only begun to fright.
And Boris tossed a lighted match into a nearby pile of straw and started a raging conflagration.
And a big fire, too.
Don't miss our next episode, The Fire Eaters or Hot Lips.
And now it's time for...
Time for the dancing fool, Bullwinkle.
Again? And now for one of our special fairy tales.
Yeah.
There was once an old fisherman who, in over 40 years of fishing, never caught a fish. Because of this, he was forced to live, with his wife, in a miserable little hovel close by the sea. But though they were very, very poor, he was very, very happy. But being so very, very poor made his wife very, very unhappy.
No money, no food, no nothing. Just a kooky husband.
Then, one day, as the fisherman sat mending his nets...
Oh, alas, poor husband, you must surely be addle-headed.
Why do you say that?
Why else would you be so happy when we're so poor?
Yeah, it does seem kind of silly, doesn't it? But you just wait. Someday I'm going to catch a fish, and then things will be different.
The old fisherman didn't know it then, but things were to be very different very soon. For the next day, when he hauled in his net...
Wow, I finally did it. I caught a fish. I caught a fish.
Yes, it was a fine, big fish. And a most unusual fish, to say the least, for it spoke to him.
How do you do?
Oh, hello there. You know, you're the very first fish I ever... What'd you say?
I said, how do you do?
Oh, come on. You can't say that.
Why not?
Well, because fish can't talk, that's why.
But I can, and I'm asking you, please, let me go.
The fish pleaded so hard, and the fisherman was so shocked at hearing the fish talk that he did let him go. Then that evening, when he returned to his hovel...
Catch any fish?
Yeah, nice big fat one, but I let him go.
Let him go? Why?
He asked me to.
Oh, well, as long as he... What? The fish asked you to let him go?
Yeah.
Certain now that her poor husband was more addle-headed than ever, the wife wrapped hot towels around the fisherman's head and gave him a bitter medicine that was guaranteed to clear even the most clouded mind.
Oh, a talking fish indeed.
Look, he did talk to me, and I can prove it.
Early the next morning, the fisherman returned to the spot where he had caught the fish and called out loudly,
"Talking fishy in the sea, please come up and talk to me."
With that, the big fish returned to the surface and said,
"You called?"
"Yeah, my wife thinks I'm addle-headed because I heard you talk. Please come home with me so I can prove you do."
"Very well. You did me a favor, so I shall return it. Let's go."
The fisherman quickly took the fish back to his hovel, but his wife was nowhere to be seen. So he put the fish into their bed to keep him warm and set off in search of her. A short time later, the wife, who had been out collecting seashells by the seashore, returned, and seeing what she thought to be her husband in the bed...
"Lazy lout, what are you doing in bed? You should be out fishing."
"I beg your pardon, madam, but I am not your husband. I am really..."
"A talking fish."
"That is correct, madam."
Eek!
The poor woman's hair stood on end. Then, 2 hours later, when the fisherman finally coaxed his wife down off of the roof...
"Ah, now you see, dear, the fish did talk."
Okay, but get him out of here."
Ah, but the fish, who, of course, had never been in a soft, warm bed before, liked it so much that he said...
"Oh, please don't throw me back into that cold, old ocean. Let me stay."
"No, I refuse to have a talking fish in my bed."
"Oh, let me stay. I will grant you 3 wishes.
"Oh, boy, 3 wishes. Hey, that could make us rich."
The wife was delighted at the prospect of being rich and agreed to let the fish stay. Then they set about the task of making their first wish.
Now, a talking fish is something you don't see every day. So, why don't we wish for a big theater so we can make people pay to hear him?
"So be it, number 1.
The wish was granted, and they suddenly found themselves owners of the largest theater in the village.
Now what?
That's easy. Now we've got to wish for lots of tickets to sell.
"So be it. Number 2.
The wish was granted, and they now had thousands of tickets. Everyone in the country wanted to hear the talking fish, so in no time at all, every ticket was sold.
Oh, boy, look at the money. Oh, we're rich at last. We still have another wish coming, so let's use it.
For what?
Who cares? Anything.
No, we better save it.
He's right. After all, it is your last wish.
Now, you stay out of this. Let's use it.
Save it.
But I think
Use it.
Save it.
Use it. Oh, I wish you'd shut up.
So be it. Number 3.
Oops, I goofed.
The third and last wish was granted, and the fish was never to speak again. Of course, the audience demanded their money back, and the fisherman and his wife were run out of town as frauds. Poor, once again, they returned to their hovel, where several days later, a strange thing happened. For a small cat wearing boots approached them, and,
Howdy!
That cat! It talked!
Right. You see, I'm...
But before the little cat in the boots could continue, the fisherman and his wife tied a gag around his mouth, and he could not say another word. Which is just as well, dear friends, for Puss in Boots is another story.
Look, Bullwinkle, a message in a bottle.
Fan mail from some flounder?
No, this is what I really call a message.
Time again for Bullwinkle's Corner. Hello there. Today's poem is called Taffy. Taffy was a Welshman. Taffy was a thief.
You ain't kidding, Governor.
Taffy came to my house and stole a piece of beef. Hey, that's a whole cow.
So I'm petting my part a little.
I went to Taffy's house. Taffy wasn't home. Taffy went to my house and stole a marrow bone. Marrow bone, that's a whole leg of lamb. I went to Taffy's house. Taffy wasn't in.
You can't read? Sign says out.
I know you're in there. I can hear you breathing. Taffy went to my house and stole a silver pin. That's a pin?
Just poetic license.
If he went to Taffy's house, Taffy in bed took up Marrowbone, hit him in the head. I went to Taffy's house. Taffy was in bed. And do you know what the last line is?
Of course. Took up Marrowbone and hit him in the head. What do you know? Unhappy ending.
And now it's time
for 5 or 6 baritone solos in the key of E.
But...
Ooh.
Now for another of our special features.
Should have tried E flat.
Hello out there, Peabody here, along with Sherman and Wayback. Wayback is a time machine. Sherman, a boy.
I set the Wayback Machine for July 8th, 1888, just like you told me, Mr. Peabody.
Good boy, Sherman. And now if you'll set the indicator for Richburg, Massachusetts, we'll be off. Off to witness the most titanic struggle in boxing history, the heavyweight championship battle between Jake Kilrain and the immortal John L. Sullivan. The Wayback, incomparable invention that it is, hurtled us back through time and space to the site of Sullivan's training camp.
Hello? This is O'Hara, Sullivan's manager. I'd like to bet $5,000 on Jake Kilrain. Well, that's what I said. 5,000 on Kilrain.
Excuse me, Mr. O'Hara, but are you really going to bet against your own fighter?
You're darn right I am. In John L.'s condition, he couldn't punch a clock.
O'Hara led the way to an outdoor ring.
There's your John L. Flat on his back, and he's been that way all week.
Too much training?
No, too much mustache. That mustache of his is so heavy he can't lift it.
Between the three of us, we managed to elevate Sullivan to a standing position.
Are you all right, Mr. Sullivan?
He can't speak, lad. Too much pressure on the lips. Stand clear for a second. We'll see how he does. John, me lad, why do you think I give you a razor on your birthday?
This is serious, Mr. Peabody. The fight takes place in an hour.
What fight? You mean the slaughter? Oh, if only there were something we could do.
There is.
What?
Shave him. O'Hara put in an urgent call for the nearest barber, and 10 minutes later...
There, how's that look?
Not his hair. The mustache. Cut his mustache.
And after another 10 minutes...
It's of no use, mister. This man's a mustache won't cut. I'm a rule of 5 a pair of scissors, 4 combs, and a half a pair of tweezers.
Well, I'd best be calling up Kilrain's manager and telling him the fight's off.
Don't do that, Mr. O'Hara. Mr. Peabody will think of something.
And of course, I did.
And in this corner, wearing black leotards and pink balloons, John L. Sullivan.
That sure was a great idea, Mr. Peabody. Those balloons are keeping the mustache up.
Now remember, Kilrain, keep away from that left balloon.
I don't like it. I ain't never fought no balloons before.
Don't worry about it. What comes up must come down.
Yeah, what's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. It just sounded like the right thing to say.
The fight was on. Round one found the two antagonists more or less sizing each other up. Sullivan could hardly raise a hand due to his inactivity of the past week, and thanks to my talents with a brush, Kilrain was confused by 3 mustachioed opponents.
How'd you get the black eye, Kilrain? I didn't see him hit you.
He didn't. That left balloon did.
Well, never you mind. Patience is a virtue.
I like what comes up must come down better.
For 30 grueling rounds, the battle raged. At that point, John L. Sullivan was slightly ahead.
You fool. The judges took that round away from you.
But why? I never hit them below the belt.
No, but you hit them below the balloon. Now keep those punches high.
Kilrain did just that. Unfortunately, by round 75, no matter how high he aimed, he couldn't score. It seemed that Sullivan's balloons had inflated slightly, making him immune to a ground attack.
Come down and fight, Sullivan!
Golly, Mr. Peabody, if John L. can keep away from Kilrain, he'll win a decision.
But fate proved otherwise, for John L.'s lofty position placed him directly under the powerful lights that gave off a staggering degree of heat.
He's down! Sullivan's down!
2, 3, 4, 5.
Get up, John L. Get up!
It's his mustache, Mr. Peabody. He'll never make it.
Nothing in this world'll make him rise.
It was then I noticed a gentleman in the first row digesting a huge platter of corned beef and cabbage. And if John L. Sullivan were any sort of Irishman, he'd rise for this. Would you mind if I borrowed this for a moment? Thank you. Well, of course, the rest is history. John L. took one slight inhalation of corned beef and cabbage and turned into a raging tiger. Sullivan was the new champion.
What a fighter he was, Mr. Peabody. Probably the most famous of all time.
True, Sherman, but his manager was equally famous.
Mr. O'Hara?
Oh, yes, he joined the Marines and became the most talked-about celebrity of our time.
I never heard of him, Mr. Peabody.
Really, Sherman? You never heard of Marine O'Hara? Ha ha.
Well, last time you remember, Bullwinkle had astounded the Bumbling Brothers Circus by taming a lion with music. This was sad news for Claude Badley, the old lion tamer, who only tamed old lions. He was tossed out on his ear.
Boy, am I going to make things hot for those guys.
How?
Like I said, make things hot for them.
Oh, for heaven's sake!
Now we gotta...
Fire!
Quick, get the fire hose.
Man the pump!
Ready, men! 1,
2,
1,
2,
1,
2.
But alas, as the crew started to pump water...
Hokey smoke, the hose is full of holes.
What could have happened?
I'll bet that Mr. Badley had a hand in this.
And guess which hand, Natasha?
The one with the ice peak in it, darling.
You guessed, you clever little Dickens, you.
This is terrible, Rock.
Yeah, come on. We're going to the elephants.
You mean going to the dog?
I mean elephants.
Yeah, think big.
But Rocky had a definite plan in mind. With Bullwinkle's help, he led all the circus elephants to the water tank and lined them up.
That's it, Bullwinkle.
Well, you can water the elephants if you want to, Rock. I'm going to fight that fire.
Yeah, but... Oh, dear. Okay, fellas, get a big snoot full of water. Now, elevation 30 degrees. Right 3 degrees. Range 50 yards. Open fire!
Meanwhile, at the fire, Bullwinkle was just ready to heave a bucket of water when...
Fire's out!
Gee, I don't know my own strength.
Rocky, that was
sensational,
stupendous,
super colossal,
even adequate.
Gee, thanks, Hugo.
I'm not Hugo, I'm Igo.
Are you sure?
Wait, I look in my hat. Yeah, I go.
Well, fellas, I did it.
Did what?
Put the fire out. I cannot tell a lie. I did it with my little bucket.
No, Bullwinkle. It was really Rocky.
And the elephants.
Elephants? How could an elephant put out a fire? You could have just told me.
Well, that was the beginning of a new career for both our boys. Bullwinkle as a lion tamer, Rocky as an elephant trainer.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting in the center ring. That's this one. The world's greatest lion tamer. Bullwinkle, the musical moose.
Yes, Bullwinkle had a sensational act. To the music of the hummer-comb, the lions formed pyramids. They leaped through hoops. They even danced. For a grand finale, Bullwinkle would put his head in a lion's mouth.
Yay!
And for an encore, a lion would put his head in Bullwinkle's mouth.
Yay! Turnabout's fair play, I always say.
But there was one person who wasn't sharing in the fun. Claude Badley, the former lion tamer.
Rag flab the deck blanket flab.
Please, Boris, such language.
I'm going to get even with the whole circus, Natasha.
How, darling?
Easy. I go to the fireside book of fiendish plans under S.
S.
For circus.
Darling, circus starts with C.
And you know how it ends?
How?
Kaboom! Look at this.
And as Natasha looked at the plan Boris had in mind, her hair turned white.
Not white, darling. Ash blonde.
Oh. Well, anyway, be sure to see our next Big Top episode, The Show Must Go On, or Give 'em the Axe.
Well, it looks as if our time is just about run out.
Mine must be a little slow.
You got the credits, Bullwinkle?
All on this itty-bitty card. Oop.
We're late again, Bullwinkle.
Right.
Bye now. See you next time.